It's your boy, yadiiiig, 4 eyes, 2 G's, and before we get into the video for today guys, please make sure to like, subscribe, and follow your boy in all social medias for more. But on to today's topic, and today we're here to talk about D-Savage, who has just released his long-awaited debut project D-Phoenix, but that isn't necessarily gonna be the focus of this video. Instead, I'm gonna be discussing what has led to this point for D-Savage, because as of right now, in terms of where his career is at compared to the potential he had when he came out, it's safe to say he hasn't been able to capitalize on the opportunities he has had, and by now he could have been way bigger. So I wanted to discuss where he went wrong and what has led him to this point. Firstly, let's start with some context. D-Savage burst onto the SoundCloud scene back in 2016 with a huge buzz, thanks to backing from key influencers and huge cosigns. Basically straight out the gate, he was getting co-signed by the likes of Ian Connor, amongst other influential youth culture figures like John Ross. Not only this, however, he would also be associated with pop and SoundCloud Atlanta-based artists like Playboi Carti, Thousand Band Fawny, and Uno the Activist. So initially when he broke through, he was a fresh and exciting face, and through his connections, he would quickly entrench himself as a known figure of the SoundCloud scene. But I don't want to chalk it up to only cosigns, because he had the talent and music to back it up. It was around this time I started to become a big fan of him myself, and his talent for making bangers led to iconic SoundCloud gems like Tendencies and Joker, which remain fan favorites. However, this is where he would start to alienate himself and make some questionable decisions. Firstly, he would distance himself from fashion/youth culture influencers like Ian Connor, and we all know how powerful an Ian Connor cosign can be, and he was partly responsible for putting people onto D-Savage. So with Ian no longer supporting his music, it would kinda hinder D-Savage moving forward. And secondly, he would start beefing with the likes of Playboi Carti, Fawny, and Uzi, while simultaneously aligning himself with Joey Fats, and this series of moves were terrible decisions on so many levels for his career, and I still think these tarnished relationships are hurting him today. That whole underground SoundCloud scene basically has one big fan base, and deciding to beef with these artists just led to him losing fans, and furthermore ruled out any possibility of collaborating with those artists again. He had already released multiple songs with Uno and Fawny that were all fire, and we know he had unreleased music with Carti, so if he had stayed cool with them and kept collaborating with them, I think he would be in a different place today. On top of this, associating himself with Joey Fats literally did nothing for his career but hurt it. He was already bigger than Joey at that time, so Joey wasn't giving him any sort of exposure, and Joey's label Cutthroat Records failed to do anything for D-Savage in terms of radio, promotion, or anything like that. Instead, they probably robbed D-Savage of having his first commercial hit with I Know Part 2, which segues perfectly into the mishandling of this song. I Know Part 2 is by far D-Savage's most popular song, and whilst it's hit an impressive 20 million plays on SoundCloud, this song could have been so much bigger, and it could have been the song to take him to the mainstream. Instead, the ball was dropped by Joey Fats and Cutthroat Records, who failed to push and promote the song to take it to that next level. And secondly, D-Savage also dropped the ball himself, because instead of dropping a video whilst the song was hot, for God knows what reason, he decided to wait 11 months to drop the video for it, and by that time, it was basically pointless because the song's momentum had dissipated. You know you fucked up when your hottest song has over 20 million plays on SoundCloud, but has less than 700,000 on YouTube. And the next factor that has played into his career arc has been leaks, and over the last couple years, D-Savage has had a lot of really hyped up snippets, and unluckily so for him, they always seem to leak, and there have been multiple songs that have had hit potential but were hurt by the leaks. Opera, which was by and far one of his most anticipated snippets, would end up leaking, and this hurt even more because the track even had a Cole Bennett directed video shot for it, which never got to see the light of day, and who knows where D-Savage could be right now if he got that Cole Bennett cosign. And another song that could have been potentially huge was Chopper with Juice WRLD, which was teased ahead of time and fans would start hyping up, but just like with Opera, the song would unfortunately leak, and who knows what a Juice WRLD feature could have done for D-Savage, especially seeing how big Juice is right now. And this is really only the tip of the iceberg for D-Savage and leaks. I don't have the time to mention them all, but I do want to mention one batch of leaks that really hurt him, which was where basically a whole project of his leaked, referred to his fans as the original D-Phoenix. Over a short span of time, essentially what fans believed to be a bunch of songs from the original project leaked leaked, and this fucked up the whole rollout of the project and made the wait for yadiiiig even longer. And this segues into another mishap in his career, which was the official drop of yadiiiig. Now, firstly, some context. D Savage has been hyping up yadiiiig as his debut tape for multiple years now. It was originally meant to come out in 2016, then in 2017, and then we finally got it in 2018. Sure, the delays weren't always his fault due to leaks and label issues, but still, delaying your first project for this long and pump faking your fans again and again with dates that you don't make makes them irritated, and over the years, fans grew tired of it, and it had become a running joke that it was never dropping. Then, after multiple years, he finally follows through with a date, and what does he give us? We get 8 tracks, 6 of which we have heard before, and then 2 new tracks that we haven't. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't want to come across as a privileged fan or anything like that, as I do like the project on the whole because the songs that we heard before like Came In, Opera, What You Want are heat, but still, you can't do that to your fan base. This is your debut project that you've hyped up endlessly for years, and to make it 8 songs with only 2 new ones is not good enough, and it's like a punch in the gut to your fan base. And if you look at his IG comments, it's full of angry fans that are pissed off, and rightly so. And as you can see, there are several factors at play when you look at why D Savage hasn't exactly taken off like he was meant to. But I don't think it is necessarily over for him yet, and I think if he can stop his music from leaking and get his label situation together, he has the potential to blow. Because for all I've said today, I can't deny that I really like his music and he has a talent for making bangers. But that's all from me today, guys. Make sure to let me know in the comments below what you guys thought about yadiiiig and if it lived up to your expectations or not. Thanks a lot for watching, and please make sure to like, subscribe, and follow your boy on all social medias for more.